my lovelies, welcome back to another video. As you can see, this is a recipe video inspired by Auntie Lorraine. This is the last of her marmalade, so we're getting pretty desperate now. So I thought, right, I'm going to go and see if there are any sort of wartime recipes for marmalade, because I imagine lemons and oranges weren't that readily available. And I found some really interesting recipes, interesting concoctions, but I've picked 3 and we're going to try them today. So let's begin. We're going to start off with a cook's scrapbook Reader's Digest recipe. This is like a mock marmalade. It uses lemon and orange, but the bulk of it is carrot. Put the carrots into a large saucepan and add just enough water to cover. Bring to the boil and cook for 15 to 20 minutes or until soft. Strain off and reserve the cooking water. Puree the carrots with 1/4 pint of the reserved cooking water in a food processor, then return to the pan. Pour a further 1/4 pint of the reserved water into a separate pan and add the sugar. Stir over a low heat until dissolved, brushing down the sides of the pan with hot water to keep it free of sugar crystals. Hey, Shaky. Are you coming to help with the jam making, Shakes? Yeah. Add the sugar syrup to the carrot puree and stir in the lemon and orange rinds and the juice. Bring to the boil over a low heat, stirring occasionally. Then boil rapidly for 10 minutes. Remove the pan from the heat and test for a set. If necessary, boil the jam for a further 5 minutes and test again until setting point is reached. Pour the jam into clean, warm jars and cover immediately with waxed paper discs and cellophane covers. Label when cool and store in a cool, dry, airy cupboard. Next, we're going to move on to Mrs. Beeton. And that is a carrot jam to imitate apricot preserve. That one uses some chopped almonds and some brandy. Got to include the brandy, so I went shopping obviously for research purposes. Select young carrots. Wash and scrape them clean, cut them into round pieces. Put them into a saucepan with sufficient water to cover them and let them simmer until perfectly soft. Then beat them through a sieve. Weigh the pulp and to every 1 pound allow the above ingredients. Put the pulp into a preserving pan with the sugar and let this boil for 5 minutes, stirring and skimming all the time. When cold, add the lemon rind and juice, almonds and brandy. Mix these well with the jam. Then put into pots, which must be well covered and kept in a dry place. The brandy may be omitted, but the preserve will then not keep. With the brandy, it will remain good for months. May have overdone the brandy a little bit. Then the last one was a carrot jam from Marguerite Patton's We'll Eat Again book, which is hiding behind the spider plant. And that is an apple jam that you use carrots to eke out your fruit. Cook 8-ounce peeled carrots in a little water until a smooth pulp. Cook 1 pound sliced cooking apples, weight when peeled, in 1/4 pint water until a smooth pulp. Mix the carrot and apple pulps together. Measure this and to each 1 pint allow 1 pound sugar. Pint, 1 pound. Fantastic. Tip back into the saucepan, stir until the sugar has dissolved, then boil until stiffened. This never becomes as firm as real fruit jam. So let's pour ourselves a cup of tea. I've got lovely warmed scones here. I should have put here we are, I'll stick them on the marmalade. There we go. You can see them all now. Yay! With the apple jam, that's the one that seems to have set in the most jam-like manner, but that doesn't surprise me because of the pectin in the apples. Although she does say that it doesn't set like proper jam. But, I mean, you know, I'm not a WI. Oh, WI. I went shopping this weekend. I got myself a little badge. It's for home and country. I do like all things, you know, knitting and jam making and stuff. Right, okay. Ooh, so excited. Okay, so, got it. Blimey, that's warm. Fresh out the pot. Right, so we'll start with the carrot jam from Granny's Scrapbook, the Reader's Digest Scrapbook. Okay, so this is kind of like a mock marmalade. It's not unpleasant. Oh, you wouldn't grumble at that? You would not grumble at that? Even the kids, I think you could give this to the kids and they'd be okay. It's a bit squishy. It's not really a jam texture. It's still pulpy texture, but maybe that's me and my jam setting. Maybe I should have left it a bit longer, but really nice. What I did with this one is I pulsed it, and it didn't seem to zhuzh up all the bits. What I found was when I moved on to the apricot imitation, I put that through a sieve, and that turned out much, much better. This still had sort of julienne carrot bits left in it, but yeah, I'm going in for a second bite. Ooh, got a bit of zing there. Again, I think to myself, I'm not getting a huge carrot hit, but that might be because it's shop bought carrots. I'm thinking and also all of these recipes sort of said to use young carrots, and I've sort of shotgun it. I'm just using the old carrots from storage, so they've probably got next to no flavour left, which is probably why you're not getting an awful lot of carrot. But I think if you made this with young, fresh out the ground, homegrown preferably, or organic carrots where they've got the flavour, you get a much bigger hit, and I think that would work out really well. Have a sip of tea. The next one, now this has got the brandy in it. This is the mock apricot preserve from Mrs. Beeton. Okay. Right. Here we go. Okay. Oh my God, you can taste the brandy. Have I overdone it? No, though. You get the taste, you get the whiff, but it's not blowing your head off. Okay, again, that's very pulsy. Again, it doesn't have the texture of jam. It's very, very vivid orange. It's when you're not used to seeing this on your scones or your toast. It's a bit disturbing. I don't know if it would work as a sandwich filling, because it's so squishy. I think it might need to go on to things that have been toasted, you know. Yes, that's nice. That's well-rounded, that is. Yeah, we're not going to grumble at that. And then we're going to move on to the last one, which is the apple jam. The Marguerite Patton's Will Eat Again apple jam. So this one, out of all of them, looked the most like jam, and I believe it's set like jam, and when I've taken it out of the jar to spread it, it's the only one that it's actually quite thick. Maybe it's just that little bit too long on the stove. So yeah, So it's the one that's acting most like jam. And I was so intrigued to have apple and carrot in a recipe together as a jam. You know, so here we go. Oh, I like that. Mmm. I'm getting excited. Oh, that's nice. I've used Bramley apples with this. So with all of the recipes, I've sort of halved them or made them to the pound of sugar or whatever it was. Just so that, you know, because I don't want like jars and jars of experimental jam. What's funny is I ran out of carrots for this jam. I was so thrilled that I made the effort to go to the shops. The thing is, there's a carrot shortage, did you know? In the UK at the moment, or at least in Leicestershire, there is a carrot shortage. I went to my local shop, no carrots. Then I went to my local co-op, no carrots. So I caved and went to the local supermarket, and normally where they have a huge section, all they had was one tray, one of those grey trays, half full of loose, of those big carrots. So fortunately they have scales sort of next to it. So I was like 8 ounces, you know, and I took an extra couple just for good measure. But there's a carrot shortage and I decided to make carrot jam. You know, that's the way it is. It's dedication to the cause. 3 shops just to get some carrots. Yeah, I like it. That's nice. You could have that on your sandwiches. Right, so we've worked it out. We've got our breakfast one, which I would say is your cookbook, scrapbook. It's zingy, so that definitely would do. And I think in the book it does say that it's suitable. It's a really good one for the breakfast table. And I concur. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very nice. I think the brandy one would make a lovely supper. Very nice. So I've been looking there. You're there, aren't you? I do apologise. The brandy one would make a lovely supper. Sort of just a very simple spread on toast, whatever you've got. And this one, the apple marguerite pattern one, would make decent sandwiches to take to work. But I don't think I'd grumble at any of those. They all taste fab. So, thank you, Ministry of Food. Hashtag win on that one. Thank you. But if you make them, enjoy. I hope that you like them. And yeah, they weren't too difficult. Give them a go. If you're going to try 1 or 2 or even all 3 of these, then I would suggest that they all want the same base, which is carrot pulp. So I would boil up, if you can, the amount needed for all 3 recipes. But all round, yeah, really good. And they're great for varied weights. So, in making. So, yeah. Enjoy. Bye, guys.